We can say Shabbat Shalom. It's great to be together on this, at least in New York, very rainy, chilly Friday night. And it was 50 degrees here today, but it will be getting colder. And I hope everybody stays safe and sound. And it's just lovely to be together. So let's see, I'm going to mute all so nobody has to worry about it. But that was more so the Cantor knows. And let's take a minute and light our Shabbat candles, and then we will do our opening song.
Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen.
Amen va'amen. It's great to see Vincent there behind you from afar.
Silence okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I'll let you know. All right, Maggie can watch on Facebook or YouTube.
Okay. So this is comes from one of the Kabbalat Shabbat Psalms, Psalm 98. And it can be found in the prayer book on page 134 if you have a prayer book and you want to follow along. I don't usually do an opening song like this, but I had a request for a psalm. Usually I like congregational things that are on the short side and lively. This is a little bit more involved, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. Zamrul Adonai, Zamrul Adonai Bechinor, Zamrul Adonai Bechinor v'kol Zeh בכינור וקול זמרו. ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים ומישרים. ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים ומישרים. זמרו לאדוני, זמרו לאדוני בכינור. זמרו וקול זמרו.
Oh, thank you. Go ahead.
That's Noah Aronson. He was one of our Zoom concerts over the, when we were completely remote and virtual. And it just, so it came to mind when I had a psalm requested. So if you loved it, thank Maggie. If you hated it, tell Maggie.
I think I froze again. Okay. Did I freeze or did you freeze? It's probably me.
Thank you, Vanessa.
All right. It's beautiful. I'm going to try to read it. If I freeze, because I'm having trouble with my internet tonight, Cantor, you'll just take over and I'll come back in. We'll give it a try. So on page 134, it's beautiful what this song means. Of course, that melody was gorgeous in the way you guys did it. But we start with thanking with an instrument that is man-made, and then the thanks to God becomes the sounds of the world. The whole world is praising God with joy. And the denouement is beautiful. Sing praise to Adonai with the lyre and melodious song, with trumpets and the blast of the horn. Raise a shout before Adonai, the ruler. Let the sea and all within it thunder, the world and all its inhabitants. Let the rivers clap their hands, the mountains sing joyously together at the presence of Adonai. For God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the earth justly and its people with equity. So what a beautiful way to bring in Shabbat with that sense of joy. Let us now turn to page 146 as we rise to the Baruch Hu. But I didn't miss anything, right, Cantor?
You're good. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
And we turn the page to 148.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro ma'arim arabim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro ma'arim arabim.
Page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Torah u'mitzvot, hukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadta. Akin Adonai Eloheinu, b'shokbeinu u'v'kumenu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismak b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu, be'orech yameinu, u'behem negeh yomam v'layla. Ve'avat kol tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohiv amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem kevod malchuto leolam va'ed.
We continue on page 154 with the V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ela asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantan levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'aderech u'shafbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha lema'an tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. You shall love Adonai with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai, your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. And we pray responsibly the best we can on Zoom on page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Mi chamocha.
Mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh nora.
We turn the page 160, to Hashkivenu, as we ask God to watch over us throughout the night.
Sorry. Okay. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Ushmor tzeiteinu v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v'v' Ufaros Olenu Sukat Shalomeka, Baruch Atah Adonai, Haporei Sukat Shalom, Olenu V'Yakol Amo Yisrael, V'Yal Yerushalayim.
I invite you to just listen to this prayer for Shabbat. in place of Vishamru, or to turn to page 329 in the brackets if you'd like to follow along. This is based on the work of Abraham Joshua Heschel, and it's such a beautiful prayer for Shabbat. The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week, we live under the tyranny of things of space. On Shabbat, we try to become attuned to the holiness in time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh ha-Shabbat. We now turn to page 166 for the Amidah, the Avot v'Imahot, and I invite you to stand if you would like.
Baruch atah Adonai. I'm not muted anymore. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, u'mevii geula livnei bneihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומק נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסירים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. You're muted, Rabbi.
Thank you. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kdoshim b'chol yom yehallelujah sela. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. For some reason, we have closed caption on that. I can't turn off even as the host on Facebook. So when we're singing in Hebrew, it's very funny what the closed caption.
Oh, I love it. Some things are truly hilarious. It's
Yes.
worth watching just for the entertainment.
That's good. We now turn to page 173. As we pray responsively, may these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh ha-Shabbat. We turn to the Ritzei on page 175. You have to unmute. I muted you.
Eloheinu B'Amcha Yisrael U'tefilatam B'Ahavat Yekabil. Humbled in prayer we seek to reach you, hoping to be heard, hearts open wide, longing to be true. Oh, let us know that you are near. Open our hearts so we may hear the still clear voice within us all. May we be worthy in our prayer and feel your presence everywhere. May we answer when you call. But say Adonai Eloheinu B'Amcha Yisrael U'tefilatam B'Ahavat Yekabil. Oh, let us know that you are near. Open our hearts so we may hear the still clear voice within us all. May we be worthy in our prayer, feel your presence everywhere. May we answer when you call. May you answer when we call. Let's say Adonai Eloheinu. Let's say Adonai Eloheinu.
How beautiful and how lovely.
Thank you.
We now turn to our Modim on page 177, our thank you prayer, our Hoda'ah. And later, when we talk about the Torah portion, we'll be talking about Trumot, about gifts. And I want you to think about the gifts, what you're thankful for that Temple Beth Torah has given you. And if you're joining us on Zoom, maybe you can put something in the chat. We often think about Trumot as the gifts we give to the sanctuary, but what gifts have you received from Temple Beth Torah? And as you're typing in the chat, and that could happen now or during my talk later or whatever, but if you think of anything, we're gonna pray together on 177. Behold, God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hato shimcha l'cha na'eh lehodot. And we pray for peace. Shalom Rav 178.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Avicha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Avicha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lekol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon
We take these next few moments and continue with the prayers of our own hearts and minds and souls. Might be a time to close your eyes and look inward, or it might be a time to be on gallery view and to look at this wonderful community that nourishes us in so many ways. Wow, that was just glorious. Thank you. So I was reading the foreword this morning, and it was great. They were listing some of the Olympians who are Jewish and how they had interviewed some of them and highlighted that Barnabas and Noah Zolosh are Hungarian-born siblings who will be competing in Israel for all the ski events. So funny, I looked at it and forgot I was going to have to say that out loud. I even have somebody who reads Hungarian in my house. I could have asked how to pronounce that. And Alexei Vichenko is the Israeli who skated to Hava Nagila in 2018 and is now taking the Puccini opera to his third Olympics. Jason Brown will be attempting a double axel to the music from Schindler's List. And Hallie Copps is a figure skater from a modern Orthodox family in New Jersey who did a gap year studying in Jerusalem and is now heading to her first Olympics. They listed another fun fact that thanks to Jason Demers and Josh Hosang, who played for the Islanders, it looks like from 2014 to 2017, and Devon Levy, the men's hockey team from Canada will be one of the most Jewish teams in Beijing. It's fun to know who the Jewish athletes are who will be competing. We identify not with their talent necessarily. Maybe some of you have it, but my Winter Olympic sports are not real high. But with the fact that they're Jewish and they're making us proud just for having made it to the Olympics, we identify because we're all part of one Jewish community. In this week's Parsha, which is called Truma, the community is still forming. We're still in Exodus. We're not quite yet a people, but we're getting there. God asked Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel, to donate gifts for the Truma, gifts for the building of the Mishkan, the Hebrew word for tabernacle or sanctuary, so that God may dwell among them. Yishkan. You might recognize that word, Mishkan. Our prayer book is called Mishkan Tefillah. It's a word that has the root Shin Kaf Nun. It's the same root that you'd find in the word for neighborhood, Shechuna. And it's one of my favorite names of God, Shechina, which when we think of that aspect of God, when we use that term, we're implying an indwelling presence of God, the expression that we're wrapped in the wings of Shekhinah. I often think of wrapping my talit around me, of wrapping myself in Shekhinah, bringing God into my prayer experience, into my heart. So Shekhinah is bringing God into our lives. And that's what the word Mishkan means. So in the desert, they brought gifts to create a beautiful box covered in gold, a tabernacle, a sanctuary, some place where God's presence could come from the high heavens down to the earth. It seems like the responsibility to donate these trumot, these gifts, it is directed to the people who are part of the community. But my premise tonight is, what if that's the other way around? What if the act of donating trumot, the silver and gold needed to build the Mishkan, is the very action that makes you feel like you are part of the community? We think that the community was asked to bring gifts, but what if it is the other way around? Giving gifts is what creates community. Many of you participated in our Touched by Torah 613 Torah scroll writing project. You donated money, you wrote a letter in a scroll, you volunteered to enable other people to have this experience. I know for me, this quickly switched from feeling like an obligation to becoming an opportunity for me to contribute in multiple ways to our community of Temple Beth Torah. It's really cool to know that somewhere in that Torah is a mem, the letter mem, that my family wrote, and that it's read once a year. I think for years and years and years, actually. And I am delighted to have made a financial contribution as well. I'm proud of that fact, as opposed to feeling like it was an obligatory, well, obviously obligatory is a thing I had to do, a burden, something heavy. It was actually a lifting up moment that made me feel more connected to each person who contributed to Touched by Torah in the myriad of ways that they contributed. I started out, I got involved. Well, it's my job, I had to, but it really made me feel part of the community. And after I contributed, I felt even a bigger part of the community. In coming together, so many of us coming together and participating, we were able to create a mishkan, a place for God to dwell on earth. The sharing table has been our big project this past year. Again, so many members of our community have given trumot to the sharing table. Some people have made massive shopping trips. The Elberts just donated a set of shelves because they realized we had a need and they had shelves. It just worked out great. People donate time to open and close the table and restock the table. Mary did all the legwork to get it started, and Judy's been carrying the ball and keeping it going. People who invest a lot of time and energy obviously feel part of something. But what's interesting is that even people who make smaller contributions create a connection. Some people have brought in one roll of toilet paper or one can of beans or one bag of white rice. And they too know that the sharing table is theirs because they've contributed to it. Again, the community has come together to build a mishkan, and helping those in need is certainly a way that we build a sanctuary. And additionally, we've continued to build community around that mishkan so that God can dwell within. This week, I was taken that so many parts of Judaism, branches of Judaism, stepped up to call out anti-Semitism when they saw it. And this happens over and over again, that members of the community come together and defend the Jews, and friends of the Jewish community come together and defend the Jews. Amnesty International set forth a platform accusing Israel of being an apartheid state. We know that when that word is used, it's done to delegitimize Israel, to question the morality of the Jewish state. David Harris of the American Jewish Committee explains, Israel is not an apartheid state at all. The current governing coalition is entirely dependent on the participation of one of the Arab political parties. Without it, the coalition that leads the Knesset would fall apart in an instant. Arab citizens have a full right to vote. That's not apartheid. And they don't vote as a bloc. They vote as diversely as any other community in Israel. Arab citizens serve in the diplomatic corps representing Israel to the world. Arab citizens serve in the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces. The medical system has Arab doctors and Jewish doctors treating Arab patients and Jewish patients. It's not an apartheid state. I was proud that the Reform Movement, the URJ, the Union of Reform Judaism, came out with a statement also condemning Amnesty's international statement as well. There is a recognition that Israel is not perfect, that we can do better, that we do have to work toward more equality and uplifting all of our citizens. But so much progress has been made. I wanted to mention this because it upset me so much this week, but the way it connected to me to Truma is that this coming together to fight Amnesty International, this coming together to fight anti-Semitism, to stand up and say something when we see something is another way of participating in community. We need to stay aware. We need to stand up. We need to contribute financially to Jewish groups that are, well, for lots of reasons, but in this case are watchdogs and calling out anti-Semitism or fighting legal battles that need our support. In all these ways, we create a sense of being part of a community. And when we do that, when we create community, we create a mishkan, a place for God to dwell. What are you doing to honor Parshat Terumah? How are you going to contribute to Temple Beth Torah, to the Jewish community, to other communities that you're part of? Not for the sake of the community, who will certainly benefit from however you choose to participate and give. I know Temple Beth Torah is so appreciative of all that you do. But this is for you. How can you contribute, make a truma, a gift, so that you feel a part of the community? And when we do that, how can we together build a mishkan each and every day? How can we bring God's presence to earth? That's our challenge on this Parshat Trumot. We now turn to page 586 as we rise for the Aleinu.
Okay. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
We remain standing as we turn to page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish. On this Shabbat, we remember those for whom we are in a period of Shloshim, the month of mourning. Brian Bruno, nephew of Paul Block. John Neuberger, uncle of Marshall Stein. Leonard Epstein, Eileen Cohen's mother's husband. Marilyn Weil, sister of Terry Lashen. Marcia Patron, sister of Jonathan Spielman. Ellen Kaplan, mother of Debbie Garnock. Kathy Quattrochi, cousin of Michael Eichner. Alvin Putterman, father of Jeffrey Putterman. Leonard Feldman, father of Jody Bassick. Elliot Beer, friend of Gail and Richard Brown. And those whose yahrzeits who fall at this season: Alan Abrams, Benjamin Blau, Marvin Bregman, Alex Kanan, Lillian Carmen, Ann Cohen, Barbara Dreyer, Bertha Fine, Hyman Franklin, Leonard Gold, Lester Goldstein, Joseph Granofsky, Paula Hockman, Betty Ingber, Christine Joseph, Regina Kanzler, Sylvia Kozlonsky, Mila Kessler, Albert Klein, Harold Kopman, Maurice A. Lashen, Alan Levine, Elliot Miner, Leah Pobener, Ted Pobener, Rhoda Pomerantz, Sandra Radbell, Oswald Scheib, Erwin Schwartz, Michael Sekeli, Blanche Citron, Dee Dee Barone, Anita Weissler, Melvin I. Weiss, Ethel Wiederspiel, Laura Wurst, and Hal Zeknowitz. Is there anyone, Muriel Heilberg and Jean Weissman and Bob Proctor? Excuse me. Just checking the list if there's anyone else that was put in that we're saying Kaddish for today. We pray that their memories will be a blessing, Zikronam Livracha, and continue to inspire us as we live our lives. And let us join together in the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, v'yalma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'gala v'zman, v'zman kariv v'yimru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorak le'olam omei omaya, yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei d'kudashah, b'ruchu. Leila min kol berchata v'shirata tushvachata v'nechemata damiram b'yama v'imru, amen. Yehei shlomo rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, amen. Now I'll turn you back over to the Cantor for the Kiddush on page 122 and 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinkilanu zikaron l'maseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikrai kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh HaShabbat, amen. L'chaim.
Please be seated. And I invite you to turn to page 371 as we offer prayers of healing. You can put them in the chat. Herman Krasinski, Troy Levine, Ben Hirsch, Phyllis Vogel. And on our list, Jackson Bagley Liebter, grandson of a friend of Gail and Richard Brown, Claire Leinhardt, Tuvia Hanan, friend of Beth Glazer. Oh, there was Bat Chassia, I think. They didn't type the whole thing on my list. Troy Levine, friend of Rhoda and Don Kriegsman. Ella Myrowitz, mother of Stacy Udell. Marcia Moskowitz. Elliot Lebenhart, Albert Coleman. Ronnie Pinkowitz, Alan Plass, Paul Scheinkoff, and Mark and Olivia Scheinkoff. Jock Legros, Phyllis Belford, Billy Kaufman, Richard North and Kara Baker, Ellie Kay, Roy Gellerman, Ricky and Bob Egert, Brian Dubinsky, and all those are holding in our hearts. Let's join with the Cantor in the Misha Beirach.
Misha Beirach Avoteinu Mekol Abraha Leimotenu courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor Abraham Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
Amen va'amen, a refuah shlema, a complete and speedy healing. And again, if you've put a name on the Mishaberach list and the person has recovered, let us know and we'll be able to remove their name, hopefully for a long time, but even temporarily. So whatever you need on that, and of course, if you have names you'd like to add, you can let us know that as well. So let's see what we have for our celebrations today. I didn't get to look at my list before, so give me 1 second. Just don't want to miss anybody maybe from last week. Oh, Matthew Glazer, happy birthday from last week. And I don't think any of our anniversary people are on tonight, but are Ruth and Stan here? Happy anniversary to them. Let me see who else might be on here. And birthdays for the beginning. Susan Bloomfield, we have not wished you a happy birthday yet. I think in giving you a blessing, happy birthday. I think we got Phil Schwam the other day, but happy birthday to Phil. Anybody else out there, birthday, anniversary, other good news? You can even unmute and share your good news. So, Jake will be this week. Wow, happy birthday, Jake. Oh my gosh, he's going to be driving. Wow. So it's all birthdays today, Cantor. Can we do a Yom Haledet Sameach?
Absolutely. Happy birthday. Yom Haledet Sameach. Yom Haledet Sameach. Yom Haledet Sameach. Yom Haledet Sameach. And many more.
Ad Me'ah Ve'esrim, to at least 120 years in good health and happiness. It is my pleasure and honor to invite Brian Goldstein to share some upcoming events with us and to tell you all what's going to happen next week. So I'll join you.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. And Rabbi, thank you for that wonderful sermon highlighting the many ways that we have built a Mishkan here, our own community at TBT, and the challenge that we must accept to continue to do that going forward. So thank you for that. Cantor and Vincent, thank you for your beautiful song. I do have to apologize that I am laser focused. So I think everything that you were playing to me sounded like Be Our Guest. And in my head, everything was spinning, but I'm sure for everybody else, it was spot on. For me, it was a little different. So some of our announcements for everybody. Sorry for the last minute change, just to keep everybody safe. We went remote. I think it was the right thing to do. I'm hearing about a lot of accidents and a lot of black ice on the road. So everybody be safe if you are going somewhere after services. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. is Torah study. Tuesday, the 8th, 10 a.m. is Jewish Tangents. Next Friday, There's a lot going on. In the morning, we have Torah Yoga at 10:15 with our Rabbi Moskowitz, 6 p.m. So it's going to be a brief Kabbalat service only by remote because, and that's at 6, because at 8 p.m. is the opening night of Beauty and the Beast. You want to be there at one of the productions, whether it's opening night or the next day. It's going to be fantastic. Our clergy is unreal. If you like them here, you're going to love them in the show. And we have a bunch of other awesome cast members. We've got Bob. I see Bob on the Zoom here. We've got our Jody Siegel, who's not on right now, but you hear her beautiful voice all the time.
If
You are going to
Vanessa's on,
absolutely love
Vanessa's
it.
on, you're on.
Vanessa's on. It's going to be great. So then Saturday the 12th, Torah study at 9 a.m. and then 2 more shows of that incredible production, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. And you could get tickets at the door. It's going to be about a third capacity, but we're still good. It's going to be COVID safe, masks for indoors for all attending.
And obviously it would help us out if you got tickets beforehand. Just we can plan a little bit better.
Our director
Indeed.
is on as well. We want to make sure we nod.
Director is on.
Well, I just see a picture of a dog, but his name
Okay.
is on.
So right after this, as I was telling you guys, right after this, I'm going back to rehearsing, going back to my lines. Sunday the 13th, in addition to the Super Bowl in the evening, there is 11 a.m. dealing with stress, 12:30 p.m. confirmation class, and 2 p.m. budding friendships. On Tuesday the 15th, 10 a.m. Jewish tangents again. Then on Wednesday the 16th at 12 noon, there's going to be another entry point training by CSS, one of our security partners. And this is going to be similar to what we had a few weeks ago in the evening, but they also incorporated a bit of terrorist training into their 1-hour training session. I'm also working with Homeland Security to do another in-person training like we had done a couple years ago, right after Tree of Life. So watch for that, but please join us. You have to register for the CSS entry point training in order to get the link to join. Wednesday night.
It's a very secure link. That's what I
Yeah.
decided.
Yeah, there are a lot of layers to that. Not only do you have to register, but then I have to approve it, and I'm impressed with their security on that end. Wednesday night, the 16th, is a ritual meeting at 6, engagement meeting at 7, and then 7:30 an adult B'nai Mitzvah class. Friday the 18th, Torah Yoga at 10:15, services at 6:30. Saturday the 19th, Torah study at 9 a.m. Sunday the 20th, a walk and talk group at 10 a.m. And by the way, all of this is on the website and in the weekly emails that you get. Monday the 21st, budget and finance at 6:30 and schmooze group at 7. And then Sunday, the 6th of March at 7:15 is a breakfast run, which is a spin on the midnight run where we take a bus into the city and distribute coats and clothing and food directly to homeless individuals at certain points of the city that they know that we're coming. But we flipped it and we're doing it as a breakfast run. So it leaves at 7:15 a.m. Join us for that. It's great. If you haven't done it before and you're a bit intrigued, you want to join. If you've done it before and you're willing to wake up and do it, you know how great it is. For me, it works better because I can't stay up that late.
There's a sign up link that either went out or will be going out very, very soon. I think it went
Or
out.
you can contact Robin Messinger, who is running
Yep.
that. And then lastly, again, chances for Mishkan and community. The sharing table always needs volunteers and donations. And the Village, which is our collaboration with Dix Hills Jewish Center, is a wonderful community that does outstanding events. Check the website for that. I believe that's it. Shabbat
The only thing
Shalom.
that I saw that wasn't on there was March 20th, save the date for Purim. And
That's the
maybe the
weekend of-
19th, we might be having a casino night on the 19th.
Right.
we?
Yeah, I did hesitate because I didn't know all the details and whether things are going to change. But that is the weekend of Purim, where there will be Megillah and there will be some other events, but we're not sure exactly what. Maybe casino night, and we'll see what else. So again, Shabbat Shalom all, and thank you all.
Cantor. Thank you, Brian.
All right, we're taking you out with an Adon Olam. Adon Olam, Hashem Allah, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, V'nasa, B'chefso Kol, Azay Melech, Shemo Nigra. ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארו אדון עולם השם עליו בטרם כל יציר נברא והתנסה בחפצו כל הזמן מלך שבו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם השם עליו בטרם כל יציר נברא והתנסה בחפצו כל הזמן מלך שבו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה והוא היה והוא הווה
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, our God and God of our mothers and fathers, please continue to bless us with wonderful community, and please allow us to continue to contribute to create a Mishkan here on earth for you to dwell in. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.